Hello, hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this live broadcast. This is Benjamin Bold and Raw Talks, a channel that we talk about most touching, inspiring, educating, and entertaining topics from the past 2, 3 years and up to now. I welcome you wherever you are, where you're going to watch me from, together with my guest tonight. As you can see on the screen, I hope that you are safe, you are okay, and you will be able to share this video to a friend or a family member, together with even a family member that you really feel has gone through this. So in the next 1 minute, I'm going to be inviting my guest to join me as we discuss and talk about our experiences, both me and her, having lost our children. And so I welcome you wherever you are. Keep on sharing this video to friends or family member. Thank you so much in advance for making time to watch me. So in the next 1 minute, I'll be bringing her on board. So keep on sharing the video as I share the video from here. And I'm giving her time to do the same, to share the video. And then we can all begin. Hey, Betty. Hello there. Can you see me? Oh, I'm still sharing the video from here. So, and then we will begin. Let me see where I can share to some of the groups that I belong to. This one. Hello, hello, hello. So keep on sharing the video, ladies and gentlemen, and then tag your friends on the comment section, together with any family member, as I share the video from here. Let me know where you're watching me from, together with my guest. She's in the studio. She's getting ready. So in the next 1 minute or so, I'm going to be bringing her on board. Hello, hello. All right, so let me bring her on board. Hello, Betty.
Hello, how are you?
Yes, I'm good. Thank you so much for joining. Welcome to this podcast. Thank you for finding time to join me today.
Thank you.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling excited.
Excited? Are you sure you're really excited about what we're going to share today?
Yes, I am.
Yeah?
Because I know through it,
yes,
a few people or a lot of them will be encouraged. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So welcome.
Yeah.
Somebody is asking me, Akuna music background. No, we're not going to play that on Caleb. Our voices will be enough for the. I'll play some background music at the end of this broadcast. So I'm giving you time to introduce yourself, Betty, and also if you see some of your friends, just say hello to them. I can see a Judy Lasingo. Just say hello to them.
Hi, Judy.
This is Billy Gathari.
Hello, Billy. Yes.
Thank you so much, Billy Gathari. Keep on sharing the video and tagging your friends. Let's see who else is here. I'm gonna be tagging the comments the way I told you, and then you just say hello to them. But in the meantime, just introduce yourself. Introduce yourself.
Okay.
I know you're Betty Achieng.
Okay, everyone. I'm Betty Achieng.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm 28 years old.
Yeah.
Yes. I was a mother, but yeah. Right now I'm just Betty.
Yeah.
Pushing on with life. Yeah. I come from Migori.
Migori County in Kenya.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Betty, for that short, sweet introduction.
Thank you.
Somebody say Leah. Do you know Leah's Ben?
Liz Ben, yes. That's my very good friend from Egypt.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Caleb was asking me to play a background music before you joined, but now you already joined. I can't play that. Dennis.
Yes.
Dennis. Okay. Dennis says he has come here. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Dennis. Help me to share the video and tag your friends and family members. Now, as we begin this discussion, Betty, I have lost a daughter, and you told me you have lost a daughter before.
Yes.
But before we even talk about that, you told me that you got interested in my live videos.
Yes.
When did you see, or when did you learn about the death of my daughter?
I learned it through YouTube.
Yes.
I had not seen you on Facebook, but I think I was bored, and I was going through YouTube videos, and I bumped into it. And I think I was touched having that. I've heard a lot of people talking about it. And when I heard about your story and I heard you talking and everything, I was a bit interested in who this guy is.
Yep.
Yeah, then I realized you have a Facebook page, and I followed your page not so long ago, I think a month ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've learned quite a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damaris Mbula says she lost her unborn baby. Pains up today. Sorry about Damaris Mbula. We also celebrate you together with your lost child. Stay here as we share these experiences together with Betty. So Betty, thank you so much. Thank you so much for picking interest on YouTube. And then finally we are here. We're doing a live video together. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Yes. Okay. I don't know. I have my tissues here.
Now we will try as much as possible to
let's try to take it going. And as people are watching and listening and they're sharing, let's just keep it the much we can. And everyone who is watching, bear with us. These are some of the most deepest, painful topics a man, a woman, a father, a mother can talk about. So bear with us as we keep on talking. And I will be asking you questions, and you will also ask me, and I will pick some of the questions from the audience that the people are watching us, and then we keep this discussion going on.
Yes.
Yes. Let's begin with you, Betty, because I'm hosting you. Your daughter, you lost your daughter.
Yeah.
When was that?
It was in 2017, in September.
Yes.
Yeah.
2017 September. Oh, wow. Me too. I lost my daughter in 2010 in September.
Yes.
I'm sure you remember the dates.
Yeah, 17th.
Mine was on 14th, September 14th.
Okay.
Yes.
So mine was on 17th and we buried on 25th, the same date as today. That's why I chose this day.
Today, the 25th.
Yeah.
Okay, my daughter died on September 14th. And then after 3 days, maybe 4 days, if I remember very well, I don't have very good memory, but after 4 days, she was buried.
Okay.
All right. And would you like to share her name? What was her name? My daughter's name, I have her picture that I normally have here. Sometimes I show it to the audience. This was one of her picture.
Yeah. That's cute.
Thank you so much. Her name, I named her Martha after my aunt, and it's just a special name that I gave it to her. And the nickname that I gave to my daughter was Angel.
Okay.
Yes. How about you?
So my daughter's name was Zareen. Nolwazi Avril. Yes. I didn't name her after anyone. It was just the name that I picked up.
Yep.
And her nickname, she had a lot of nicknames. She had
pick one that the one that you still have it in your heart, in your mind, in your soul, the nickname that you still remember her about.
The one that I used to like is what my mom used to call her, which was Modo, meaning
Modo.
I think it's a Kikuyu word, Yeah. So that's the nickname I remember her most with, because sometimes she used to get mad when you call her that.
Mm-hmm.
She will tell you that's not my name. My name is Zareen, or
Mm-hmm.
my name is Avril.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. So Zareen, and the nickname was Modo.
yes.
Okay. For me, the name Martha, name was Angel.
That's nice.
Okay. Thank you so much. I can see people here sending us some love. Thank you so much for Lena and their comments on the screen. But I will have to
Thank you.
focus on the discussion here together with Betty. Thank you so much, Lavine. Thank you for the hugs. Thank you for the love. Keep on sharing the video. If you are a mother, if you're a father, if you've ever lost a child, this video is for you and for all of us through these moments to get inspired and see how people are coping up with these situations. So hey, Betty,
Yeah.
let's begin with what was the cause of your daughter's passing on?
To some extent, I call it was like a sudden death.
Sudden death, yeah.
But yeah, she had complained of a few things.
Mm-hmm.
It was during the elections. After the election, we had a lot of things going on, so we were home.
Mm-hmm.
Then we came back. She was supposed to go to school. She complained about a few things. She complained about headache, about losing appetite. I took her to hospital. They ruled out malaria,
Mm-hmm.
but they gave her malaria drugs.
Mm-hmm.
She finished them. She wasn't so much okay after that. She still complained of headache. Then she was given paracetamol.
Mm-hmm.
That one started, she was given medicine on Tuesday. Then on Friday, she was given paracetamol. And on Saturday, she was very okay. She actually told me I am okay.
So your daughter was schooling age. She was 6. You told me she was 6 years old.
She was 5 when she passed.
5 years old.
She was in baby class. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So she first began with she began with complaining that she had a headache and yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But on Saturday she was okay. She even told me she was okay, and she played. She ate nicely. She said, like her appetite is like it came back.
Mm-hmm.
And then at night, she had like a blocked nose.
Mm-hmm.
We even talked about it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I asked her, do you have like a flu? She said, I can only feel my nose blocked, but nothing more.
Mm-hmm.
And then we slept. And on that night, she said she wants to sleep with me.
Mm-hmm.
So we slept, and around 3 a.m. in the morning,
mm-hmm.
I just woke up. Like, you wake up like something as shook you, like you have to wake up. Then I was like, something is wrong. My mind was coming back from sleep. And then I said to myself, she wasn't feeling well when we were going to sleep. Her nose was blocked. Let me check on her. She was a very sensitive kid. When you call her, you just call her once and she responds, even when she was sleeping. So I called her name, Avril, but she did not respond. I called her 3 times. So I got worried, and she was facing the wall, and I was on this other side. And then I turned her to face me, and I realized she was not strong.
Mm-hmm.
She was a bit alikuwa melegea. Let me use that Swahili word.
She was really weak. Yeah, she looked very weak.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I just figured out this one is not normal. And then she was breathing like she was trying to breathe, she will breathe and then be quiet for some time, then breathe again. Yeah. So I called one of the taxi guys that I know, and I told him that my daughter is so sick. I need to take him to the hospital. After the call, I called my neighbors. When we reached the hospital, it was the nurses were also on strike at that time. The place where I used to stay was near the government hospital. So that was the first option, being that we had an emergency. Yeah. And when we took her there, we were told that they're not working because there are no nurses in the hospital. So we had to go to the next hospital where she was pronounced dead on arrival. Yeah, so that's how it went.
And from Saturday, you say she began feeling sick and telling you she has a headache. That took how many days?
From when we went home?
From the time she started complaining that she had a headache until she passed away, how many days were those?
5 days, yeah.
About 5 days.
Yeah.
And the nurses
but
were
it wasn't something continuous because after I took her to hospital on Tuesday, on Wednesday she stayed at home, but she was really angry at me for making her stay at home. She told me, why did I stay at home? I wanted to go to school. So it was on and off. Sometimes she will tell me I'm okay. Sometimes she will come to me and tell me, you know, I'm not feeling okay. Yeah.
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 Wow. Thank you for sharing that part. So I'm going to share my side of my story. For me, my daughter was 11 months old.
Yeah.
So it was just 1 month. I was actually planning for her birthday, and we shared the same birthday in October. So I had this plan for having a birthday together with her, like celebrating like a father and a daughter celebrating the same birthday.
Yeah.
And then in September, it was September, so 14th minus 3, around September 11th. Then she developed fever, high fever, and then she became, you know, at 11 months she couldn't talk, she couldn't say anything. She was just too young, and then she had this fever and could not breastfeed or eat or be active. She was just looking so weak and sickly.
Yeah.
And then she was taken, we took her to the hospital, and then the nurses at that time said that she's teething. She's growing her teeth. I don't know how your daughter, when did she grow? When did she first have her first teeth?
1 year.
1 year, exactly 1 year?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So mine at 11 months, so the nurses said, okay, the daughter is teething. That's the problem with the teething children. That's why she has fever. She's just, it's okay. She will be fine. She'll be fine.
Yeah.
She'll be fine. So 11th and then 12th, and then by 13th, I realized that her fever was still going up and she couldn't eat. She was just like looking at me like a statue. I remember exactly, even when I was holding her, she was like, she couldn't sit down. She was just like, I think she had already passed away, but the eyes were still open. And I was trying to hold her and looking at her. And I wanted her to tell me something, what she was feeling or what she wanted me to do. So I was holding her, but she was really weak.
Yeah.
And then I told that hospital, I told the nurses that I think my daughter is not okay, and I have a very bad feeling she's not going to be okay. Like something was just, I don't know if it's the gut. People who have lost children, I don't know if something just tells them that your son, your daughter, did you feel the same way?
Not okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was feeling like something is not going to be okay with her. And I remember I told my friend, one of my friends, I told him that my daughter is not okay. And I don't know if she will be fine. That's what I told him. And he told me, no,
Yeah.
Benjamin, you can't say that. I just told him, I don't know. I think she's getting weaker and weaker. And the nurses and the hospital and the doctors, I don't see that she is going to say. I think I was giving up, but I was going through a lot of emotional pain because since she was born, she was okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I told the mother to try and take her to a better hospital. I was trying to look for I don't know if my video is okay. Am I freezing?
No, it's okay.
Okay. So I told her just take her to the next best hospital as I look for funds and then get a better doctor, because sometimes you are very worried. You think if I get a better doctor, things are going to be fine. And through the process of her being transferred from the place where she was to the next hospital, it took more than 7 hours by bus. And by the time she arrived there, she was pronounced, I think she passed away along the way when she was being taken to the other hospital. Yeah. Yeah, and then I got a phone call, Angel is no more. Angel is gone.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Sorry about you too. So for you, Betty, when you took your daughter you're the one who took your daughter to hospital together with the taxi driver.
Yes.
And then when I want that experience, because
Plus
for
my
me,
neighbors.
plus your neighbors. For me, my experience, I was not there at the hospital for the doctors or the nurses to confirm that my daughter was gone. How about your experience? When you arrived there at the hospital, what happened?
My experience was also a bit not good, because when we got to the hospital, I really hate it. In fact, I really don't like the fact that I got to the hospital and they told me you have to give your details, you have to give the details of your daughter and all that. Yeah. So I told them, this is an emergency. I can do that after. So they insisted that they needed the information. Yeah. So I told my neighbor, I went with one of my neighbor, then the other one came on later, a husband and a wife. So I went with the husband, and I told him, since these people want this information badly, you go with her to the consultation room or whatever room they will take her. Then I can give the information. I'm coming after you. So I was there giving information, my daughter's name, whatever, age and all that. So when I go there, I find the mood of everyone is everyone is different. Everyone is looking at me, and I realize there is something wrong. So when I walk in the room, I see her sleeping, and the first thing I saw was water coming out of her nose. Yeah. And then my neighbor tells me it is okay. So I look at the doctor, I see him shaking his head. And then he says, oh, we have to call another doctor. So they call another doctor. I was seated there. At the moment now, my neighbor's wife had already arrived also. So when she came, she was holding me. I think they told her the news on phone before she came. So she was holding me, and she was like, patting me and telling me it is okay. So I looked at her. She looked okay. She was just sleeping. And I think that's the moment it hit me that this is really wrong. Like, something is terrible. So I had to ask the doctor what is going on. And then he tells me, you've arrived with the baby when she's normal. I told him no. Because when I was getting out of the car, to come inside the hospital because I was not the one carrying her. Where we lived was, I used to stay on the 5th floor. And so it was hard for me to go downstairs with the baby. So he said, I will carry him, I will carry her, then we go together. So when I was getting out of the car, I saw her breathing. So I told the doctor, there is no way. You've done nothing. I have not seen any effort. Not you trying to, to put oxygen on her, nothing. Yeah, but he insisted, you've arrived with her when she's no more. And it took me time before I even cried. It took me, I think, an hour or so. I was just in shock because she was sleeping there, and I called her name severally. Yeah, so I asked the doctor, why does she have water coming out of the nose? Then he told me when people die, fluid will come out of their body. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. For me, okay, anyway, I'm going to share my part also. As you have shared your part, for me, I was told, this is a story that I was told by the mother. She said, when she arrived at the hospital, she found a nurse who was in charge at the waiting area. And then the nurse was actually sleeping because it was 3 a.m., I think 4 a.m. in the morning. She was asleep, just sleeping on a desk. And when the mother of my daughter tried to talk to her and tried to say that I have a sick daughter, then she also began asking the questions. Where is this daughter coming from, and how is she suffering, or what is the problem? And also she's asking the mother. I think the mother was so stressed out, traveling for 7 hours, carrying the baby on her hands. I think if the baby already died on her hands, I can imagine the pain carrying the baby up to that hospital, and this nurse is asking her this question. So every time she was asking her these questions, and she tried to call me to try to talk to the nurse, but even for me, my instinct at that time, honestly speaking, I felt that my daughter is not going to be okay. So I put my phone far away from me. It was near me, but I kept on looking at it just to see a message that everything is okay, she's okay, she's okay. But something kept on telling me from midnight to 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., this is not okay. This is not okay, Benjamin. This is not okay. And then finally, of course, at 5 a.m., when I got the phone call, I knew that she had gone. But the story that I got from the hospital, the nurse checked the daughter after she discovered that there is no information about where this daughter is coming from. And then I was told that she touched her. She touched her heart. The heart was not beating. And then this kid died long time ago. She passed on long time ago. And then I remember I was told that she used the injection. Injection to like trying to push the shot on the baby's thigh to see if she could react, but the baby could not move. And then the nurse told the mother that I think your kid already is gone. And the only thing we can do now is to plan to take her to the morgue. And so that's it. Yeah. My daughter, as I said, she was 11 months at that time. From the beginning, she was 11 months. And then finally, I got the phone call. I think I screamed. I jumped out of the bed and I went to my neighbor who was next door to tell him. And you remember, it was 5 a.m. in the morning. He was sleeping. I couldn't wake him up to tell him that this thing has happened. I had to think about what he's doing together with his wife. But I needed to tell somebody. I couldn't tell my mother, my father. It was so hard. For the first time I looked at my phone, I realized that there's no person that I'm going to tell this other than just me. And then I sat in the living room. I remember I played the song Above All. You know that song, the gospel song Above All?
Yes.
I played that song, and that is one song that made me to sober up within that. From 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., I played that song more than 20 times, and I kept on playing it. And then I was just holding my hands. I'm just saying, Benjamin, Benjamin, this is not true. This is not true. This is not true. This is not true. You will get another phone call. You get another phone call. You get another phone call. Yeah, that was my experience. But for you, Betty, after the nurse or the doctor confirmed for you.
Sorry?
After the doctor or the nurses confirmed that your daughter had passed away.
Okay.
What did they do?
They just looked at me.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that should be really improved, because when someone loses someone, they need the immediate person to be close to them. I remember the doctors just walked out, and the nurses, we remained there with the body. And then one of them came to me and started asking me, what is your chief's name? Which village do you come from? I told her I cannot answer you those things now. I am not in the right mind. I cannot. Because at that time, I was trying to call my parents, and none of them was available. My mom's phone was off. My dad's phone was on, but he left it in the sitting room when they went to sleep. So he couldn't hear me calling him. I gave my phone to a friend of mine. There's a friend of mine I called, and he came immediately because we stayed at the same place also. So he came and I gave him my phone. I told him, call my dad or my mom. So when none of them was available, he called the taxi guy because he's close to me. Yeah. So for me, the doctors did nothing. You know, like even, I don't know if they go for counseling. Like, I don't know if they are taught to counsel people or.
I have no idea. Like any nurses or any doctors who are watching us, how do they disclose this information? I don't know how they do it. I was never there to experience it, but I can imagine. Yeah, the nurse is asking you these questions, but your daughter is lying in front of you dead. Yeah. Yeah.
But she's busy asking me the name of my village and my chief. Yeah. Those are information I cannot even give you at that time. Yeah. So it was hard. And then having that, I cannot get someone close to me, like my relative, my mom, my dad, my brother, no one. I cannot get hold of anyone. It was really frustrating. And at some point, I started asking God, do you want me to do this alone? I cannot. Yeah. Yeah. Then I think an hour or so, my dad called, but I didn't talk to him. Yeah. So he's the one who gave all the information they wanted.
To the nurse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I have never asked the mother of my daughter about what happened, but I think she was asked the same. Maybe any nurse who is watching here, especially from our home country in Kenya, sometimes disclosing this information is part of your job. But I hope you find the right way of trying to deal with that, specifically the parent, or especially the parent. I think for you, even as a mother, as Betty, your daughter is lying there and somebody is asking you questions, and you are thinking about your daughter, whether she's still okay, whether she's
Yeah.
whether they're just telling you lies, or
Mm-hmm.
I, I was not there, so I didn't experience that, but I believe that was the same situation with my daughter's mother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, finally the daughter was taken to the morgue, and the process of the burial, you did it, and you said it took you 6 days.
Yeah.
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 The 6 days, for me it was 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
How did you deal with those 6 days? I think they were the longest days in your life.
They were the longest,
Mm-hmm.
but I thank God for my friends. I thank God for my parents.
Yeah.
And I have a special friend, I think she's watching, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Lillian. She took a partake of coming home and stay with me.
Mm-hmm.
And she really made me strong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
She made me strong.
Yep.
It was a difficult time, but for me what I say is I coped with it really well. That's what I say. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what I tell people.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've seen people losing their loved ones and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was the longest 6 days, but it was one of the best experiences.
Mm-hmm.
For me, my secret
Yep.
that I will tell people. I used to hold back my tears in front of people. And my mom used to tell me the best thing you can do is when you feel you overwhelmed with the feelings and you feel like you want to cry,
Mm-hmm.
if you do it in front of people, it will be too much for you. She told me you go to your room,
Mm-hmm.
get in your blankets, scream, cry, talk to your God however you want it.
Mm-hmm.
So generally I can say almost no one saw me crying. And
For
it
those
raised a
6 days,
lot
yeah.
of questions. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was for me it wasn't okay, yes, but
Mm-hmm.
for those 6 days it was a process for me to accept and to start learning my new life, because now
Mm-hmm.
this is a new life, a life without her. You know, I'm used to seeing her, I'm used to calling her, I'm used to getting
Mm-hmm.
disturbed with her, but now she's no more.
Yeah.
So I used to sit down, we would talk. My friend was there, we would talk. And when I feel overwhelmed, I go to my room, I cry, I call God, I do all sort of things. I wipe my tears, come back and start talking to people, eat, everything. I was okay in front of people.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was alone is when I used to cry and I used to get my anger and I used to ask God a lot of questions. Yes, for the 6 days.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you, Betty. Thank you so much. I can see Asumu go for say the approach they have when one has lost a loved one is very sad. It's time to be available, quietly understanding, not asking any questions, but letting the person know you are there for a shoulder to lean on or a screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope this message goes to the nurses who do not really understand the pain of a
Yeah.
parent who has lost a child.
Yeah.
For me, my experience, the first day I called my father. Actually, my father called me. He called me, told me I've received the sad news, and he just told me, "My son, I love you, and I have nothing to tell you."
Yeah.
my mother also texted me, and also, so I began texting my friends, my former schoolmates. I texted. That time there was no WhatsApp. In 2010, there was no WhatsApp, so nothing like WhatsApp group where you can now send messages quickly to reach so many people. So I began telling my friends. Then I was tempted to post it on Facebook that I have lost my daughter. You know, that I was already on Facebook. I had her pictures on Facebook that I shared from 2009. So I was of deleting all of them, sharing them. I was fighting that first day. And then I had to go to work and tell my boss that my daughter has passed away. I can no longer go on teaching. And then I finally decided to go to school because I was a teacher. I'm still a teacher. So I went to school. I met the head teacher. He was a white man from America. And then I just told him, my daughter has just passed away. And the first thing he did, he hugged me. He just stood up he was writing some things on his desk. He just stood up and he told me, Benjamin, what did you just say? And then he stood up and he came close to me and he hugged me. He was a Catholic brother, and they don't marry, they don't have children, no wife, no kids. He just hugged me tightly and he told me, Benjamin, I have no idea how you're feeling, but I'm going to be with you up to the last moment. And that was the best hug that I've ever received in my entire life. And how I wish the people are watching, when somebody tells you, I have lost someone, there are no best words that you can tell the person to feel okay. Nothing. Even if you say it is well, I love you, there's no special word or phrase you can tell this person. If you can hug them, just hug them. If you cannot say anything, admit, I have no special words to tell you. But just remember, I'm always there for you in case you need me. And when this head teacher hugged me, I started crying. He gave me a tissue paper. And then he asked me, what can I do for you? That's another thing. What can I do for you, Benjamin? And I just say, I have no money. I need to travel to go and plan the burial ceremony. So I am struggling financially, and that is the most difficult part for me. And then he said, okay, I'm going to do anything that you want to help you to do this thing smoothly. And then after that, then he started complaining about our nurses, our system, our doctors, our hospitals. Of course, he complained like any other normal human being. And then the second day, the third day, I couldn't eat all the food. I don't know how your food was tasting. The food was
Now for me, food was okay. I don't know why.
No, for me, the food was not okay. I was just seeing people eating food. They are adding more food. My cousins, my friends, they are eating close to me. But for me, the food was absolutely tasteless. But every time I was just alone, I used to go to the toilet and cry. Toilet was my crying place. Go lock the toilet and cry for 2 minutes, and then I have to wipe my tears quickly. And I look at the phone. I use my phone to see if my eyes are okay. I don't want people to know that I was crying in the toilet.
I know.
And then when I come back into the living room where there are people, my friends are coming to say sorry, my family members, extended family, they are coming. I am smiling, I'm laughing, I'm trying to tell them, hey, I'm trying to pretend like everything is okay.
Exactly.
And so now I'm planning the burial. I have to get the coffin. I have to, the dress that I bought for her birthday is the same dress that I decided to use for her burial. It was a beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous white dress, white shoes, together with a cap, a birthday cap. I just said, okay, I'm going to use all these clothes for her final journey in this world. And then I did all I could as a father, as a man, to process the burial. And then finally, after 4 days, the ceremony was done and completed. Yeah.
It's you know, people always ask me, how can you afford to smile and laugh? You know, when I tell my story, I try as much as possible to smile and to make some jokes in it, because I hate it when I tell my story. This happened to me like the first 4 months or 5. I used, like, you know, you will meet friends who knew about it, but you hadn't met. So when you meet, they ask you what happened. I realized when I talk in a way, everyone will start crying, everyone will start, you know, I'm sorry. I'm not going anywhere with that. So I decided to change my style of telling my story.
Yeah.
I decided, you know, like you see, we've laughed about going to cry and come back like you're not crying. Yeah. So I try as much as possible to make my story something that someone will feel. Yes, it's painful to lose someone, but I try to make it for someone to feel that however it might be hard, at the end of the day, life goes on, and you have to choose to live with the beautiful memories that you had. And you have to be strong for them. Yeah. So I always do that.
Yeah.
I always laugh. I smile about it, because I don't want to see people saying, oh yeah, we are sorry. You know, I just want to see people saying, you were a strong woman. And I'm happy that I learned from you. Like, I'm happy it's not disturbing you, and people can learn through it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, I don't want to cry anyway. I've cried enough. I've cried. I don't know if I will ever stop crying. Sometimes I cry. Sometimes I'm okay. Sometimes I regret.
Yes.
But I remember, let us, Betty, let's talk briefly about after the burial. Forget even about the burial day, when you see the casket going down, and then they ask you to throw the soil, the traditions of and then finally you put the flower on where your daughter is buried, and then you walk away. Those days after that, like, can you remember the first 2 weeks?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was
when
difficult.
You go back, because any parent who is watching here, the truth is, once your child has died or a loved one, when you go back into the house, everything reminds you, everything. The door, the floor, the sofa, the bed, the cup, the
everything.
Everything. You want to turn around like this when you see a cup, you see a carpet, you see a toy. It reminds you everything about your kid.
Yeah.
How was your experience?
My experience was hard.
Yeah.
When my friend came after the burial, she was supposed to go back. But I don't know if she felt it or she just wanted me to be strong. But I kept on telling her, you can't go. You have to stay like 2 more days. Then she says 2 more days. I say, Lillian, you have to stay 1 more day, like go tomorrow. Don't go today. So finally she had to go, because everyone's life has to move on. So she had to go, and I had to go back to my house. And the first thing, when I walked in the apartments where we used to stay, the first thing, I met with my neighbor's son, and he asked me, Zareen died? I said, yes, she died. And then I went on this other floor. Another one saw me. She called me, Mama Avril. I said, yes. Where is Avril? She was a bit young, so she didn't understand a lot of things. So I said, Avril has gone. She will not come back. She started asking me why. I want to play with her. Did she leave her bicycle? Can you give it to me? So from that point, I was getting a lot of emotion, and everything was reminding me. I opened the door. The first thing I saw was her toys. I go to my bed. I see her clothes. And I started asking myself, how will I do it? You know, like I can't do, like now the reality was coming to me. Like, you are in this alone. Your mom is not here, your dad is not, your friends are not here, you're here alone with your God. Yeah. So it took me like 1 hour to actually realize that I was in the house, because I sat down in a corner and I was thinking, what next? What will I do with all this stuff? Yeah. And it was so hard because, you know, like even the places she used to pass, when you look at those places, you see her. When you go to the kitchen, you see maybe her Weetabix that she used to eat. You see it there looking at you, and you're like, okay, everything is here. And then my balcony on the other side was her school. So I would stand on my balcony and I would see them playing in school. So I go to my balcony and I see kids in school. And I'm like, yeah, she's not there. And I see her uniform. So it's so hard. For me, it was hard after the burial than before the burial.
Yeah.
Because before the burial, there were people home. I had friends. I have everyone calling me, you know, what are the plans? When are you burying? What, you know. But after the burial, everyone is going on with their lives, you know. People will check on you, of course, but not every time as before the burial. Yeah. So everyone now is back to their work. Once in a while, someone will check on you, you know, are you okay, and all that. So it's at that moment is when I think I felt so much pain than before the burial.
Yeah.
Because that's the time now everything was coming into reality. Because before the burial, I was home. I had people, I was not in the house, nothing reminded me of her. Yeah. So after the burial, it was more difficult.
Yeah.
That
I almost cried there, but I'm just controlling my tears, just saying, Benjamin, take it easy. Take it easy. I'm gonna cry after this one. Yeah, after the burial, anybody who has lost a loved one, whether it's a mother, a father, a brother, a sister, a cousin, a grandmother, grandfather, I totally understand your pain, you guys. And that's the reason why I asked you this question. The first 2 weeks when people have gone back to their normal life, it's when you remain alone. And any parent who's watching this, I want you to understand, if this thing happens to you as a man or as a woman, God forbid, I'm not predicting this one. Just understand from my story and Betty's story, the first 2 weeks, when everyone goes back, they are posting, some of them even post their pictures, your pictures, even the burial pictures. It's one of the most painful things. And for me, I remember those first 2 weeks. I had a very painful stuff stuck on my throat. It was like I had swallowed a stone and it was here on my neck. And I don't know if you felt that thing.
I know that. Yes.
Yeah, it's just here. You just feel it's here. I tried drinking water. I tried.
not going
I
away.
tried to be okay. I tried
Yeah.
to. I don't know. The feeling that I had here on my neck was so hard. I couldn't eat very well. I couldn't swallow very well. And then
Mm-hmm.
finally, I realized that I'm alone in this world. And then I realized, okay, I don't have a child anymore. My daughter is no longer anymore. And people are going on with life, and that's the
Yeah.
saddest thing. Life goes
Yeah.
on. People go on with their lives. The people who
Yeah.
have their children, you will see them posting their pictures, hugging their
Exactly.
children.
Yeah.
So, but somehow it was becoming too serious and so painful for me. I go together with his wife and their children to go and party and dance because I love dancing, just to have family members close to me. Because most people these days, it's very hard after the burial to have family members around you. That's the most painful part because
True.
people stay away, people are far away, people are busy, people are thinking about their own lives, people don't even understand your pain. I had so many, even somebody was telling me, don't worry, Benjamin, you will make another baby. You will make more children. You will have so many
Yeah.
children. You are still young. People are just telling me that like it's just like losing a child is it's just having sex, make somebody
Mm-hmm.
pregnant, and you have a child. But I met my uncle together with my aunt. We went to dance, and then I got emotional in the disco. I went I was asking many people in the club, what would you do if your daughter dies? As I'm dancing, like I dance with you, then what would you do? And everyone was telling me, oh, I don't know what I will do. I don't know. I think it will be crazy. And then finally, I saw one of the doctors that was trying to help my daughter when she was sick. The doctor was also inside there dancing. And then I saw him. I remember this is the guy. And then you see, I still have this pain and anger. I'm like,
Yeah.
this doctor is one of the guys who did not help my child. So I went,
Mm-hmm.
I asked him, do you remember me? And then he told me, of course I remember you. And then he didn't know that my daughter died. For him, he was just dancing. Then he asked me, how is your daughter? And then I told him, my daughter already died. And he was so kind. He stopped dancing. He hugged me, pulled me from the dancing floor, took me outside the dancing floor, and told me, Benjamin, I have no idea how you're feeling. I can see from your eyes and your anger. In fact, you're almost going to beat me up. The anger that I had, that it was so much in me. And then he told me,
Mm-hmm.
I have a daughter who is the same as your daughter's age. My daughter is just
Mm-hmm.
1 year old. I have
Yeah.
no idea, even if I'm a doctor, if my daughter
Mm-hmm.
dies today, I don't know what I will do. So he's one of the
Yeah.
guys who really understood my pain at that time. He hugged
Mm-hmm.
me and told me it's okay. And I remember he just got me one more beer just to say sorry. but
Yeah.
yeah, he just told me, I have no idea what you're feeling, but I hope you're okay. You're
Mm-hmm.
safe." And then my uncle was there together with my aunt. They're the ones who stayed together with me close and kept on telling me, Benjamin, we are together with you. Don't do anything. Don't attack anyone. Don't act stupid. They kept on. So there are some family members, even though they have never lost children, they really understand. They try to imagine the pain. And they are the ones who really told me, Benjamin, don't do anything. Take it easy. Take it easy. All the time I
Mm-hmm.
stayed together with them for 4 or 5 days. And then finally, I think I began to recover, which is the last part that I want us to talk about. The stigma and the stigma, especially for you, I know for you as a mother,
Mm-hmm.
I want you to briefly talk about the stigma of when you say you have lost your child. What are some of the things that people have told you, family members have told you about the death of your child? And Salma, I saw your question. I saw your question. You're saying that I'm still mourning. Mourning has no deadline.
Yes.
You mourn your child or you mourn your family member or your loved one until you also die. There's
Yes.
and if it affected me, I wouldn't host you, Betty, and I wouldn't be talking about this. But I'm strong
Yeah.
enough to be able to host you and to share this story. So
Mm-hmm.
I am able to function normally. But Betty, talk about the stigma of a mother who has lost a child. How has been your experience so far?
My experience so far has been bad
Yeah.
when it comes to stigma.
Mm-hmm.
It's become so hard to talk about it sometimes, but yeah, it's something that I've already learned to live with, because one of the biggest stigma that I've had
Mm-hmm.
is people telling me that these are relatives telling me that I killed my own daughter. So that has been the worst.
Mm-hmm.
And having it come from people you saw around you during that time before you buried and when you buried,
Mm-hmm.
it's so hard. And it it gives me so much pain, because I don't think they understand the pain that I have. And it's so sad. It's so sad because someone you loved and someone you will sacrifice a lot for will say such a thing about you. And for me, when I heard that people I considered close to my heart and people I considered my family saying that I took my own daughter's life for money and wealth purposes, it kills me. It kills me to an extent where I have so much I have so much hatred towards them. I usually don't want to hate people. Anyone who knows me knows how happy I am and how I love people. But when it comes to a point where I'm forced to hate someone, it kills me. It has been a very difficult 2 years. I even stopped going home. Like, my mom has to force me, like, just come home. And I used to tell her, I will come, but I will not spend the night in that village. Because when I see their faces, I want to talk back at them, but that is not me. I don't want to hurt anyone by my words. It's it's sad. What I will tell someone, whether someone is your biggest enemy, whether you hate someone, you hate them with passion, when they lose someone, never ever talk bad about it. Never ever. I am not a perfect mom. I was not a perfect mom. I did not do my things perfectly, but I did my best. But for someone to sit down and think that me, Betty, will take my daughter's life, that is the worst thing. I don't know how much you hate me, but that is the worst thing you will talk about. And it has been so difficult. It has taken me a lot of energy to actually forgive them. I'm still in the process of forgiving them.
Yeah.
Because I still talk. I started talking to them, I think last year in December, but not so much. They call me, you are in Migori, can you do us a favor? We need something to be done at home. They're in Nairobi, some are far away. I do it. But these are the same people who hurt me. But then I told myself, if I revenge by being bad and all that, they will still hurt me. The best thing is to be nice and try to forgive them so that I can also be in peace. Because I've never been in peace. I reached to a point where I said, if one of them dies, let no one call me. If any one of them has a problem, let no one call me. It's so bad. Like, that is the worst stigma that I've lived with. And people don't understand what it is that you're going through. Living that alone. Another thing that I think I've never told my friends, but I think since most of them are watching me, I think another thing that I should tell people is never ask someone to get a baby to forget the other one. I get that a lot. People tell me, oh, now you should get another baby so that the other one can go out of your mind. It can never, and it will never go away. Yeah. That's another topic of another day, but before you tell people to get other kids or have babies, try to understand. Try to understand why they're not having babies. It's 2 years already, yeah, and it's not like I'm alone. I have a man, but I have not had a baby. There are so many reasons behind it. Yeah. So those are some of the things that I've had to deal with. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
Oh, Betty, I need to hug you. Yeah, just have your water. Remember, I told you to have your water.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the viewers who are watching here, I am a man. I can say, for me, I have not experienced this. The reason why I decided to host Betty is on a woman's perspective, a mother who has carried a child for 9 months. Any lady who has been blessed with this amazing gift to carry another human being for 9 months, deliver the child, feed the child, be together with the child for 6 years. You don't just sit down and plan to kill your child. It doesn't, it's, oh man. What I want to say, anyone who is watching, my family members, I've had so many stories. If somebody has lost a child, don't even imagine that they killed the child. Don't even think about it. Don't even say it. If you want to say it in your heart. Don't tell anyone. Don't
because it will come back. Yeah.
It will come back, because the moment if you think I killed my daughter, and then you tell my friend, I think Benjamin killed his daughter, this message, this information will come back to us. It's the most painful thing. Any parent who is watching this video today, if your child died and then somebody came and told you, you killed your son, you killed your daughter, how would you feel? How would you feel? I just want you as a daughter who is watching me and Betty, if your daughter died today and then weeks later on, family member, a cousin, or even your own sister, or even your own parent, for heaven's sake, told you that I think you killed your daughter as a man or as a woman, just write down there on the comments how you would feel. This is the most painful part. I don't know whether it's in our African setting. I don't know whether it's, I have no idea how people assume that I can wake up one day and decide to end the life of my daughter, of all the people. I don't know. So anyone who is watching this video, if you have ever said this thing to a family member who lost a loved one, telling him or her, I think you killed your husband, I think you killed your brother, I think you guys planned to kill your mother, I want to just remind you that people don't do that. We are not all evil people. And death is just death. Death is just death. Until your daughter will also die, then that day, God forbid, other people will also tell you, you killed your son. Look at you. You killed your daughter. Even if it's a car accident, short illnesses, like for me, my story and your story, people have these stories that they create and they imagine that people sit down and kill another family member. We don't believe that somebody can die out of sickness. Somebody can just die out of high blood pressure. But for me, I want to encourage anyone who is watching this video, stigma is real. Somebody will lose her husband and people will condemn her left, right, and center that she killed her husband, a man that she sleeps together with, have sex together with, staying in the same roof. And I'm sorry if you have that mentality. I am very so sorry for you. If you still believe that way, it's one of the most painful things to say to anyone. If you want to say it, let it remain in your heart. Don't ever mention it and die with it. Don't ever, ever tell any other person. Now, finally, Betty, let's finish this video. We are coming to the end. Let's talk about the journey so far. So 2 years now. For me personally, I went for counseling session and I learned about the stages of dealing with grief. Sometimes people don't cope up, especially with men. There are men who try to be stronger, but the death of their child or their loved one can affect them for the rest of their life. And the reason why I do this video is to tell people that some people cannot overcome this journey. They will go through the pain over and over again, and it will affect their lives completely. And some of those people need help. For me, I went through the help of counseling and then finally accepting that my daughter is no more. For you, Betty, 2 years. Have you done anything special to cope with this? What have you done that these are your coping skills as Betty?
For me, I've not gone for counseling. For me, it has been my own fight. Like I told myself, I have to do it, whether I like it or not. So my secret, my way of overcoming my pain and dealing with grief has been, whenever I feel like talking about it, I talk about it. Whenever I feel like I need to say something about her, I say it. Like we'll sit down then we will do something. Then I will be like, my daughter used to like the same thing. So I've never hold back any memory or anything I feel like talking about. I have never. And after the death, I think I've been so close to God. I have been so church going, and it has really helped me because I find words that encourage me. And I hear stories that encourage me. I hear people talk about their experiences and all that. And I come back to myself and tell myself, Betty, there are people who have gone through the worst than you. That one really encourages me. Yeah. And nothing so special, only that to this point, sometimes I still cry like it just happened.
Just happened, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, my mom told me, anytime you feel like crying, don't hold back your tears. Just cry. That is part of therapy. That is part of dealing with it. But when you hold back, it manifests a lot of things. Yeah. So yeah, for me, I decided to, lean on God, pray. Every time I feel overwhelmed, I sit down and pray to God and ask God, why me? And I think one day I will get that answer. I don't know. I still don't know why me. But I keep on asking, why me? I keep on asking God, like, why did you give me this? Yeah. Why did you bring this to me? Am I even worth it? Yeah. So that has been my journey. And of course, this is something that we will live with for the rest of our lives. Whether we have other 50 babies on the way, whether we have no babies on the way, this is something that we will live with. Yeah. And as you said, you went for counseling and accepted and knew how to deal with grief.
Yeah.
That is very important because not everyone can do it.
Yes, that's true.
But for me, I consider myself so lucky. I didn't need counseling. Maybe in the future, but I don't believe I will need it because I know I can do it. And I have a very strong support team, my friends, my mom, my family, my immediate family. Yes. So yeah, it has been a good journey, an interesting one. Yeah. So it's a process.
Wow. Thank you so much, Betty. Yeah, so for me, as we wind up this discussion, I would say that after the counseling session, which took me 2 years to accept, as you say, some people will not accept it. But my message to this on this video is, I know there are men who have been fathers before. You have lost your child, whether it's through miscarriages or stillbirth, or your child was born a few months, a few years, and he or she passed away. If this thing is still affecting you, it's okay. It's okay to go for counseling sessions. There are grief counselors who are professionally trained on how the counseling is not a sign of weakness. It's just a sign to surrender and say, hey, my life is not normal. I'm not normal. When my mother died, since my mother died, I think I'm not normal. Since my father died, since my child died, it's just accepting that somebody will understand your pain and take you through the journey to overcome and accept the reality. And the idea of counseling is to take you back to normal life, because if grief is not checked, if you don't deal with it very well and effectively, it will affect other decisions that you keep on making in your life, in your health, and in your future. So it's very, very important, other than just saying, I can deal with this by myself.
Yeah.
But more importantly, my coping skills have been talking, repeating the story, sharing some poems,
Yeah.
telling people. There are people who even ask me, Benjamin, you're not tired of talking about your daughter? I mean, surely.
I get that too. Some people
Yeah.
tell me, oh, you should not talk about it.
Oh, Benjamin, again, come and listen to him. He's talking about the death of his daughter. But
Yeah.
so it becomes boring, and it's like it's the same story over and over again, but they haven't been there. But my story and your story can really touch somebody who cares to listen and wants to learn and move on with the normal. There's something about moving on, but moving on is not that you accept the reality, but it's just moving on with life in a normal way. You can function normally, you can sleep very well normally, you can eat, you can dress, you can talk with people. You don't hate nurses. I don't hate the nurses. I don't hate doctors. I don't hate hospitals. I don't hate the medication system in our country. I don't get offended when I see people posting their children like before. I teach kids. Today I was teaching more than 10 kids. I'm hugging them. One of the kids, one of the class that I was teaching, they are 10 years, 11 years old. When I look at those kids, I say, this could be my daughter. And I'm just teaching them, and they're enjoying my lesson. So learning to have a normal life after the death of this loved person is one of the best healing process any person watching this video should try to get. And whether you're a man or a woman, that's the best thing that you can do for your life and for your own sanity. Yeah. So Betty, let's finish this video now. I want to say thank you so much. I want to tell you thank you so much for sharing your experience. As many people have said, and as you know, there are no special words that I can tell you. What I can say, your daughter, together with my daughter, they are angels. They are dancing in heaven, and we can only hope we will see them one day once we also move away from this world. Yeah, so I hope they were watching us from up there and cheering us on.
Of course they are. Yeah.
Any one last word you would like to tell any mother who has just lost a child recently? What would you like to just speak to her?
The only thing I would like to say is to anyone who has lost a child, a loved one, but mostly a child, I am not promising you that it will be easy. You will have bad and good days. You will have bad and good memories. And I pray that you don't have stigma, and you might have it. And if you have it, choose not to concentrate on it. Choose on yourself. Choose yourself before anything, because when you lose a child and after everything, you are alone in the journey. You might go for counseling. We might talk to you. You might read the Bible. You might read a lot of things. But if you are not ready to move on, you will be stuck there. And being there, like sticking to the same place of grieving, like it just happened, will complicate your life, will make your life hard. because at the end of the day, life has to move on. And the best thing you can do, for me, that's what I do. The best thing you can do is think about your child when you're there and you don't want to make a step, or when you are there and you don't want to accept it. It is very hard, but you have to do it. Betty will not come to you, Benjamin will not come to you and beat you to accept it. We will just come and tell you, you know, probably we've been here, it shall be well. Those are the words we will give you. But if it doesn't come from within, nothing can change you. So it's just from within. And the best thing about it, live with the beautiful memories. Even if the child was 3 weeks old, even if the child was a few minutes old, you have that memory of that child that you have in your heart. As mothers, when you give birth and you see your baby, just the first sight, it's the best feeling. So live with that. Yeah. Even if it was a stillbirth, at some point you had them kicking in your stomach. At some point you had them giving you nausea, you had them giving you sleepless night. Those are the memories that should make you move forward, should give you strength, should make you know that you are special. And for you to go through this, you are the most special person before God's eyes. And you will go through it if you want to. And it will be the best, most beautiful journey. For me, it's a beautiful journey. It is painful, it is sad, but it's a very beautiful journey because I have a lot of experiences. I feel so good when people tell me, you know, you really inspired me. So sometimes I come back and sit and say, maybe it happened for someone else's life to change, or maybe it happened for someone else's hope to be revived. So always look at the positive part and live the beautiful memories. The sad memories will come, but kick them out with the good memories, and all will be okay. People will start asking you, how can you afford a smile when you talk about it? That's the only secret. It's not that I'm feeling good about it, but I want to make myself feel good that I am on the journey and I am doing good. And she is proud of me when she looks down on me and says, Mommy is actually okay and she's doing fine and life is moving on, you know. So even when we meet in our second life, we will have beautiful stories. We will not be talking about, Mommy, why did you used to cry every time? Why were you not happy? I was okay where I was because I know she's okay. Yeah, I want us to have a beautiful story when we meet. And that's why I really encourage anyone out there to take everything positively and try as much as to embrace the beautiful memories. Yes.
Very powerful. I hope any mother was listening to you, they have gotten it. And if you have any child, I know some of you follow my videos. I know some of you have children. You have a son, you have a daughter, you have sons and daughters. Why don't you take this opportunity to hug them? I want you to just hug them and tell your son, I love you, my son. If he asks you why, some of them will ask you, why are you telling me? Just tell your son, I just love you. Just love your mother. I love you. If you're a man, you are together with your daughter or with your son, do me a favor and hug these kids wherever they are together with you after this live, bro. Just tell them I love you so much. I have made some mistakes raising you and playing here and there, but I just love you. send some love to all those kids on behalf of me, together with Betty, our children who are up in heaven. And Betty, I'm gonna play this song here above all that I said I played it for the first time when I received the news.
Okay.
But it just be a winding up song for this video. Let me see. I'm trying to get it on YouTube right now, and then let's play it as we read the questions. And thank you so much, Betty.
You're welcome.
Yeah, can you hear the song from there? Can you hear the song?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And all created all wisdom and all the things of man. Before the world, above all kingdom, above all wonders, the world is all wealth and treasures of earth. There's no way to measure what crucified, laid behind the stone, lived to die, tempted and alone, I trembled on the ground. You took the fall, taught me above all. Of all power, of all nature and all creation, of all wisdom and all the ways of man. Before the world began, of all kingdoms, of all wonders the world has ever known, of all wealth and treasures of the earth. There's no way to measure what crucified, laid behind the stone, lived to die, tempted and alone, like a moon, trampled on the ground. You took for me above all.
People cut today.
Someone is asking who cut onions.
Thank you. God bless Lawson. People have cut onions. I just want to go and sleep right now. I see people want to call me, to text me. And for me, what I want to say, I just want to go and sleep right now. But I will respond to any messages or phone calls tomorrow or another day. I just want to go and sleep and rest my brain.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Betty. I wish you a beautiful night and I celebrate you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Yes.
for hosting me, of course, and giving me a platform to share my story. Yeah, I think I should say this, for anyone who wants to talk or have a word, or we can share, my inbox is free. You can send me, you can DM me anytime. If I have time, I will reply to you, but I promise I will reply to all of them if anyone sends me a DM.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. And my contacts there, you can follow me on my Facebook, my Instagram that is running down on your screen, my YouTube channel. I also have this same story on my YouTube channel, together with, of course, here on Facebook, where I am always found in most cases, but together with Instagram that I'm still building. And my podcast too, if you have never listened to my podcast, they are very powerful. Anyone who has ever listened to my podcasts where I just speak without you seeing me like a radio. I don't know if Betty, you've ever listened to my podcasts.
I have.
Oh, thank you so much.
I have.
Yeah, if you see me posting a post on my Facebook account saying, hey, my 34th podcast is out, download an app and listen to that podcast when you're cooking, when you're driving, when you're walking. I don't know, Betty, when you listen to my podcast, what are you normally doing?
Like today in the morning, I listened to one. I was washing my utensils.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I listen to them when I'm doing something, or when I'm in bed. I want to sleep.
Oh yeah.
Because they're so powerful. I sleep with a very powerful message in my
Thank you so much.
mind. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. So all of you who are watching right now, my podcast, I speak about my personal deep stories that are meant to inspire you. You can listen when you're cooking, when you're sleeping, when you're walking, when you're driving. And all of you have listened to more than 35 of them. Thank you so much. They are not very long. Most of them are about 20 to 30 minutes. This is enough for you to listen when you're doing other things, sharing the same messages of inspiring people and making them to change their mindset about their lives. So thank you, Betty. Thank you for the viewers. Just say thanks to all the viewers, and then we call it a day.
Yeah, thank you for everyone.
Yeah.
It was nice talking to you. Thank you for being here and having your time to be here. Thank you. My inbox is Betty Schmidt, not Betty Achieng. I think, Benjamin, you can put my name, my Facebook name.
Betty Schmidt. I will type it on the comments, but they will find Betty Schmidt.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Betty. Have a beautiful night. Talk to you again another day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. All right. Yes, Spotify. Mona Agoki. Yes. If you want to listen to my podcast, get this app called Spotify. The one my dear friend is saying, Mona Agoki. Or if you cannot download Spotify app, you can get Google Podcast app. Google Podcast app is the best to work with any phone that you're using to listen to those podcasts. I guarantee you the podcasts and the stories you will listen from Benjamin, they will not be a waste of time, whether you're a man or a woman. I really guarantee, because I think through about them before I record them and post them. And sometimes I listen to myself when I'm just lying on my bed. So please do that for me today. Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye and good night. See you in the next live broadcast. Continue enjoying the rest of your day or your night. Betty, Atieng, thank you again. May God bless you. And all of you, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you in the next Bold and Raw talk shows. Enjoy the rest of your night, your afternoon, your morning, your evening, or wherever you are. See you. Goodbye.